Hello and welcome to Wilderness Days. Today, we'll be talking about the best known birds paradise of India, which is Bharatpur National Park of Rajasthan.
We delved deeper into the diverse shades of green flashing before us. And were soon rewarded when a magnificent Saurus crane emerged from the thicket as if to welcome us. This is the Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary, arguably the most famous in India. Bird lovers and seasoned ornithologists troop down to Bharatpur every year to savor the myriad charms of Bharatpur in Rajasthan. The place is also known as Keoladeo National Park, but the name Bharatpur has stuck with visitors. Standing tall at a height of almost 5 feet, the Saurus crane is the star attraction of Bharatpur. Having found their perfect muse, the photographers here are trying every possible shooting angle with the crane. Winters are synonymous with the arrival of some of the most elegant winged creatures across the country, and very few of these guests give a miss to Bharatpur. Photographers coincide their visit with the arrival of birds in early November. The park, though, is open to tourists round the year. A visit to Bharatpur leaves no room for disappointment. The range of visitors varies from serious bird watchers to even school children. Tourists can enjoy a comfortable rickshaw ride inside the park. Rest can rent a bicycle or simply enjoy walking alongside the tracks. One can barely notice the trees when scores of painted storks assemble for a get-together. Then some more, and later a huge colony can be seen embracing the tree. Painted storks prefer to stay in large groups. The male stork has a heavy yellow bill with a down-curved tip that gives it a resemblance to an ibis. Usually, they feed in shallow waters. In November, however, the number of birds we encountered in Bharatpur was not quite high. So, our quest brought us back in the January of 2013. And this time, we were not disappointed. Our quest brought us back in January to figure out the birding population in peak winters. And it was definitely better. We saw some of the most beautiful creatures strolling through the habitat. The birds which had given us a miss in November finally turned up in January. In winter, lakhs of migratory birds fly thousands of miles to reach various parts of South Asia in search of warmer homes. This is the time when Bharatpur is teeming with migratory gulls, herons, egrets, and the black-headed ibis. The habitat undoubtedly seems to be quite a well-known place among the bird population. We were lucky enough to befriend the most exotic species here. We gauged the bird population here in November as well as January. The comparison between the onset of winters and peak winters dazzled us. Monsoons in India are preceded by the arrival of migratory birds. Some reach early and some late, depending on the weather and their nesting conditions. Most birds seem to make their final landings by mid-December. The winged visitors certainly get exhausted during their long flights, and the exhaustion is not entirely normal. Human-induced climatic changes have almost begun. Well-established migratory paths are getting disturbed for a variety of reasons. Less fuel on the go. Having hectic flight schedules, birds forage at some specific spots. They refuel and relax before setting out on long journeys. But natural and human destruction of such habitats has led to insufficient reserves for birds. Bad weather, journey cancelled. A lot of migratory birds change their routes, shorten or completely cancel their journey due to changing temperatures. The phenomenon of global warming has alarmingly affected the migratory pattern of birds. Early bird offers. Warm spring temperatures in certain areas lead to the early arrival of many birds. This, in turn, forces the latecomers to face stiff competition for food and breeding grounds. It's all about food. Changing crop patterns and unrestricted use of pesticides often results in delayed migrations. A poor seed or fruit crop, for example, may force birds to expand their range in search of other foods. It may even restrict them to a smaller area where food is abundant.
केवलादेव राष्ट्रीय उद्यान में 3 सीजन है, समर, विंटर और मानसून। मानसून के आते ही यहाँ पे स्थानीय पक्षी जो 15 स्पीसीज जो पक्षी हैं वो ब्रीड करते हैं, लेकिन वो ब्रीड जब भी करते हैं जब पानी आता है। पानी के साथ में ही उनको नेचुरल फूड खाना, जो मच्छी है, मच्छी, स्नेल, स्नेक वगैरह, वाटर स्नेक और ये कीड़े मकोड़े, फ्रॉग सब आते हैं उसमें। गंभीर नदी से पानी आता है, उसी में काफी ये भी ब्रीड करते हैं। अगर पानी नहीं आता है तो पक्षी घोंसले नहीं बनाते, क्योंकि उनको खाने के लिए और उनके बच्चों को खाने के लिए नहीं होगा। तो जितना खाना ज्यादा होगा, जितना पानी ज्यादा होगा, उतना ही खाना ज्यादा होगा, उतनी पक्षी ज्यादा ब्रीड करेंगे। फिर मानसून के बाद में अक्टूबर में विदेशी पक्षियों का आना शुरू हो जाता है, जो साइबेरिया और सेंट्रल एशिया से आते हैं। वो भी पक्षी पानी में जो तैरने वाले पक्षी हैं, जो यहाँ की एक्वाटिक बीड है, जो वनस्पति है, उसको खाते हैं। अगर पानी नहीं होगा तो वो भी नहीं आएंगे। इसके बाद समर में बैक माइग्रेशन इनका शुरू हो जाता है, विदेशी पक्षियों का फरवरी से तो वापस अपने देश चले जाते हैं।
people realize that Bharatpur is a man-made marvel. Decades ago, it was the duck shooting preserve of Maharaja Suraj Mal of Bharatpur. In 1982, it was declared as a national park, and then a World Heritage Site under UNESCO in 1985. Spread out in an area of roughly 29 square kilometers, Bharatpur's chief characteristics are rocky terrain interspersed with several water bodies, a perfect place for birds naturally. Much of the region is covered by medium-sized trees and shrubs. The habitat has among the most elegant-looking residents such as whistling ducks, peacock, woodpecker, kingfisher, eagle, dove, and the list continues. The annual visitors too are equally elegant and pleasing, such as this little blue heron, the comb stork, black cormorant, golden oriole, etc. The January visit gave us some really pleasant encounters. A team of enthusiastic nature photographers geared up with some high-definition cameras. Under the tutelage of professionals, these budding photographers hope to make it big in the field of wildlife conservation. We spent some time with them and came back wiser.
According to this trip with Nature Wanderers for my first birding photography trip, and I think it was very well organized. Right from the logistics to the guidance on photography, I think that was a big positive, and I've enjoyed the trip so far.
I have my leader with me, Shivang and Kahini. They are the experts of Nature Wanderers, and also Tejas, macro expert. So we have almost covered, say, about 100 species of birds only, and including owlets, storks, cranes, and even other mammals.
Nature Wanderers is India's pioneering nature photography training organization. It organizes such thrilling, adventurous trips. It has a unique way of sensitizing people on the issue of wildlife conservation, which is primarily through photography. Bharatpur is simply a delightful journey. At every step, you are likely to be pleasantly surprised. Aranya in Sanskrit means forest or wilderness and represents our vision to provide you with your own piece of heaven on earth. Spread over 108 acres of land and the Aravalli Ranges,